the respiration and respiratory system. First of all, which are the main organs which help during the respiration? Nicholas, what's that? Lungs?
Yes.
Okay. So, who can talk about the lungs? Where the lung is located, each lung is located, and how many lobes does it have, and why is it different? Anybody who can talk about it? So?
Lungs is located in thoracic cavity, and the left one has 2 lobes because there is heart located directly beneath it, and the right one has 3 lobes.
Okay, so that means that are they the same sized?
No.
No. Because as she said, as Nunsa said, the heart is located beneath that. Okay. Now, what is surrounding the lungs, and who can talk about that layer?
We have double layers.
What's the name of that? Pleura.
First layer is covering them by separately, and second layer cover them together. Between these 2 layers there is vacuum, so there is not any air.
There is no air.
Yes.
So the lungs, does it have its own muscles, or how is it moving?
Is it moving by helping of
What's the name when you are breathing in and breathing out?
Yes.
What's the name of that process?
It's relaxing and it is extracting.
Yeah, inhalation
and exhalation.
And exhalation. Now, what is helping? What's the name of? Let me show you that. What's the name of diaphragm? This is what's that?
This is like
which is
with the stomach and between the stomach and the lungs, and it helps lungs.
It is between which cavities?
Thoracic,
I'm talking about 2 parts. One which is located on top of your body, and yes. So, who remembers the name of that cavities? Upper cavity and lower cavity, which is
Thoracic cavity.
Thoracic cavity, and below that is abdominal cavity. So, this is same thing what we just said. The lungs are located in which cavity? Thoracic cavity. Okay, now let's just make this experiment, which is showing, we have to make the model, which is showing the thoracic cavity, okay, where the lungs are located at, and then surrounding layers. And then the experiment we are going to make is going to show how the lungs are getting wide, or why is it getting wide, and when we are exhaling, how the lungs are shrinking. Okay, why are they getting smaller in size during the exhaling process? Okay, so let's just make this model. First of all, can you explain which part is what? And then let's do so. The whole pathway, which is showing there, can you explain what part represents which part on your experimental link?
Next is its lungs.
What's representing the plastic bottle at this point? What's that? Huh? Look, inside is lungs, as you said, right? Each part is representing what? What is that? It is representing area, which is what? Pleural cavity. The pleural cavity. Okay, now let's just make the layer which has to separate the thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity. So we already said, what's that? Diaphragm. Okay. Can you go ahead? But remember, somebody else has to help. Okay, let's just cut the top. I hold this much. So our goal is, let me show you that. Once again, our goal is to make the model which is going to represent the pleural cavity and the vacuum inside it, meaning that there's supposed to be no air at all, because when you breathe in and you breathe out, how are the lungs getting wide, or during the breathing in, how is it getting full with the air? And during the exhaling, why is it shrinking, and how is the air getting out, which is the process of what? What's this process, Nika?
Exhalation.
Exhaling. Okay? We got it. So, let's just bring this here and put it on top. Okay, let's make sure that there is no air. Okay, now, Alexander, hold it because now. Now, can you explain what is this thing, which is like at this point, this is the latex, okay? Just which is representing what? The layer.
It's diaphragm.
Representing it. Now, what happens during the inhaling?
It goes in.
What goes in?
Diaphragm. Yeah, no.
The air goes in. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you
What happens when you
air
breathe
goes
in? Yes. When you breathe in, what happens with the diaphragm?
diaphragm
Goes down because
It's
the
getting
lungs are
what?
wider.
Okay. What's its own shape? The diaphragm. What's the shape of diaphragm?
Dome shape.
It's like dome shape. It's like triangle shape, meaning that that's the normal shape of it. So when you inhale,
It's like cycle.
it's flattening. It's getting flat. But you have just try what's going to happen. But it's going to be a damage. And then give me that. I don't think I would arms. So now the point is that we have to make vacuum inside it, meaning that there is supposed to be no air at all. Okay? So can you just try now? Let me show you first, and then each of you will try it. When you breathe in, what happens with your lungs?
Air comes in.
Air comes in, so that means that, see those balloons? The balloons are representing what, Lizzie?
Lungs.
The lungs. Okay, so you breathe in, and your lungs are getting wider. Yes. So when you breathe out,
Our lungs are like some small.
getting small, it's shrinking. Because once again, what is this latex flavitis point, which is the membrane, represents? What's that?
Diaphragm.
Diaphragm. Okay? Can you try it now? It is just good to hold. We didn't take it off. And also we want to make sure there is no air in it. So we didn't want to pinch it.
Where we are breathing.
Yes. Okay. Can you also hear the sound of, yes, can you show it to your classmates? Can you hear the breathing sound during the breathing in or during the breathing out? Can you? Okay, take a look at the lungs and then just listen to the sounds. Make it correct, yes. Okay, so then once again, this is the modal. We just made substitute. Now, this is once again the modal of pleural cavity, okay? And then the lungs, and this is representing during the inhaling or exhaling process, how the lungs are following to the diaphragm when you breathe in or when you breathe out, okay? You got it? Basically, this is the same. So, one more model we have here is the lungs. Okay? Now, left and right lung, of course, which is once again representing what? Which one is lungs here? Your model? Balloons. Each modular balloon represents each lung. And then the latex flavitis point, which is the membrane, is representing the diaphragm, which is right in between the thoracic and abdominal cavity. Okay? Any questions?